It is author and speaker Tori, Lynn, jumping right in. There's a video out right now about a father that is beating his daughter with a belt in her head and in her face for, I think, lying about her age and, want to mess with bigger boys. And I think there's another video about another one is the daddy was beating his daughters for twerking and posting it on Facebook. And he did it with a cable cord. And then there's another one that there's a mother who she was beating her daughter with a hanger and for being a thought. I think that this morning my daughters, I was making some oatmeal and I had the water boiling, and my 6-year-old said, "Mommy, can I stick my finger in the water?" And I said, "Well, baby, if you do, then you'll get burned." My grandmother, she came up, and it just hit me right then. As soon as I said it, because normally I'd be like, "Girl, no, what's wrong with you?" I just said, "Well, baby, if you do, you'll be burned." And I was done with it. My grandmother was like that. Like she handled us with care and with love. And what I was gonna say is that about these videos with these girls, my grandmother would ask why. Like, why are they wanting that type of attention, especially if they have their fathers in their lives? Why are they wanting that type of attention? Why would a girl want to mess with a boy that's older than her? Why would the girls put a twerking? Why would they want that type of attention, twerking and then posting it online? Why would this girl be a thought, as her mama called her, and she also called her out of her name and stuff like that? And I think when these parents are posting these things, one thing that I just kind of was curious about is the lesson in it, because when this father finds out that this girl is in a relationship where she's being abused and she's beaten, he's going to be upset with her and try to figure out, like, why would you pick a man like that? And I'm just kind of curious as to the lesson, because one thing that my grandmother did is that my grandmother, my mom will probably give you two different stories. My mom will probably say that I was a problem child. I mean, like, I gave it to her. I gave her the business. My grandmother, so my mom, I did everything wrong. I got a whooping like every 2 weeks. Whether I did something or not, she just automatically said, "You know what, I know you got into something. So let's go ahead and get this whooping out the way." My grandmother, on the other hand, I could do no wrong. I was a teenager, or I was a kid. I was doing things that kids do. So, I think the thing that really, the worst thing I've done is she found out that I was no longer a virgin, and that I lost virginity at her house. And the look on her face when she found out crushed me. It crushed me. I mean, it crushed me, because I knew how much she loved me. I knew how much she believed in me. And I couldn't even look at her. And then after she got over the initial shock and embarrassment and stuff like that, later on she said, "Well, baby, ain't nothing new under the sun." After that moment, I never wanted to feel that again. I knew she loved me unconditionally. There was a time that I was doing some video blogs, not video blogs, I did some vlogs, and a guy chimed in, inboxed me, and he said, "Would you post the question, how can I get my wife to perform favors for me?" If you understand what I'm saying. And my grandmother was in the car while I was posting it, and she said, "What are you doing?" And I told her, and she said, "It's not how can I get my wife to perform favors for me. Was she always like that, or did she just like?" And so I said, "No, for some reason she stopped now." She said, "Okay, well, she stopped because the why, she doesn't like him anymore." And I said, "What do you mean she doesn't like him anymore?" She said, "Women, we don't touch things that we don't like. So for some reason, she doesn't like him anymore." And so she said, so there's nothing that he's going to be able to, you can get all these advice. And I had a lot of advice going on. And I was, a few people were pretty transparent and pretty open about that discussion. It was pretty cool, but still, but my grandmother, she said there's nothing that anyone could say that changed that until she gets to the point that she likes him again. He needs to go back and figure out when this why happened, why she stopped. There's a why. So the same thing about these girls, why are they trying to get this type of attention? We need to find, where's the why? So I know that, and here we go. If you read 1 Peter 3 and 1 through 6, we go in and about our conduct, and it talks about the wife and the husband. But I think that also it applies to us, period, as people. Also, it was First Peter 3 1 through 6, and then the other one was the wife is one by, let me see, it's 1 Corinthians 7 and 10. I'm going to read Ephesians 6 and 4, and it says, "Fathers, do not provoke your children to anger by the way you treat them. Rather, bring them up with the discipline and instructions that come from the Lord." So I said all that to say, let's just kind of think about it, because also, if we were looking at the same video of a man beating his wife with his fist or with an object or whatever, we would be like, oh, I can't believe he did that, and we'd be rather, ready to go. But because it was this man's daughter, then it makes it okay, and we have to think about the why when it comes to our children, and why would they? My mom and my grandmother would give you two different perceptions of me, of what type of child I was, but there's a why to the both of them. There's a why. My grandmother loved me unconditionally, and there was nothing I would want to do to disappoint her or to hurt her or embarrass her. I never wanted to feel that again. I never wanted to see that look on her face again. Anyway, it's author and speaker Tori. Lynn, chime in. I'll see you online.